Oiche Mhaith. Good evening. I hope you've had a wonderful week. I'm your host, Stephanie, and I'll be sharing short weekly dance stories with you during the Irish winter months between Samhain and Imbolc to make those long winter nights a bit less long for you. You will find a new story every Sunday night at 9 p.m. Irish time. I hope you're cozy and warm where you are. Now sit back, settle in, and enjoy the story. Episode 14. A field trip with unexpected outcome. Tonight I'm going to talk to you about something very special. Something that might not be quite known to many when thinking about Irish dance, but something I was very lucky to witness myself and experience, and truly fell in love with it. And it's just something too beautiful not to share here. And I would like to spread that out and let people know what a beautiful art form is being cultivated in Ulster, in the northern part of Ireland, but especially in Northern Ireland. What I'm talking about is festival dancing. Perhaps you've heard of Patricia Mulholland before. She was born in 1915 and she was a choreographer, teacher, dancer and musician. And basically it's due to her love and passion for dance that festival dance emerged. There's quite a story about how she taught her students how to dance, and what I found beautiful about her biography was that she never made a difference about what background a student had. Whatever religion the student came from, she wouldn't care. In fact, there's a gorgeous story about it in the Deep Green Pool, The Life, Work and Legacy of Patricia Mulholland, a book written by Joyce Ann McCafferty and Paul Hipsley. In there it is told that on a Sunday she would bring all her students to their respective churches to go to Mass, and then after Mass she would collect them all from the different churches and all go together to the same feis, to the same competition. Because she just felt dancing is the most important thing, and she wanted to cultivate it and she wanted to pass that on to her students, no matter what. I was just there sitting on my stool very quietly, not saying anything, trying to hide, because I felt like this is the locals session, this is the locals part to dance. I'm not going to take away a spot to dance at someone else's local pub if that would mean it's one of the few times they get to do a dance that week. And then there were a few people there that knew me and they were kind of like, oh, she danced, and they were trying to get me up, and eventually I had to get up and they put me there on a side couple. And then just realized I'm not really ready for a dance. I was wearing a pair of shoes that are one of them steel cap shoes, like Dr. Martens. They were not Dr. Martens, but an imitation of them. So them steel cap shoes are really heavy, and I never danced in them. So I was wondering, okay, so how am I going to manage? And I took off my hoodie and very, very inappropriately had on a heavy metal shirt on and felt a bit inadequate and was trying to tie up my hair. If you know me, you know that my hair can be an issue because it's so long and gets out of control. So I was trying to tie it up and make it stay there. And we started dancing the Caledonia anyway, and the dance partner I had was very friendly, always telling me, you have to do this and this comes next and this comes next. And after the first figure, he looked at me, he's like, you're not doing this for the first time, do you? I'm like, no, I'm not. And he was happy with me anyway, and I felt very happy about that. And it kept getting wilder and wilder with more turns and everything, and I just couldn't really keep up doing a battering or even like properly being able to dance with my shoes with the steel cap and everything. They were just really pinning me down the floor. So I ended up taking them off and just placing them on the side. The weird look of the locals, like, what are you doing? Like, I just have to dance in socks. So I was dancing in my Donegal socks anyway. Kept dancing away. And it was hard because it was just hard because my hair was coming down and was smacking everyone. At the same time, the baggy boyfriend pants, they were falling off because I usually don't dance in them, and I never dance. It was just so nice to sit there and watch and listen and be involved in a tradition that is from my own country, but that I wasn't familiar with. And I just think it's funny and interesting how I had to go do Irish step dancing first and get out of my country before I could find a tradition and go back to my own country looking at that tradition. Because like so many times people tell me like they have to get out of the country in order to start appreciating their own culture. And it's a bit what's happening with both of the cultures I grew up in. Like the older you get, the further away you get from your culture and then go back into your culture, be it South America or Switzerland. You see different things and you see it with different eyes, and it's very valuable, it's very beautiful. So basically, yeah, I think, would I not have done Irish dancing in Switzerland or anywhere, I would probably not have heard of that wonderful documentary portraying percussive dances, and especially portraying a very special dying out tradition in Switzerland. But what struck me then was that there were two musicians that had played Fanny Power before during the championship, but maybe it struck me less because I think I had heard that on another championship a couple of years back, but maybe because I knew that tune from the Ceilidh in Switzerland, maybe that's why I didn't really pay attention myself to it, or just kind of like took it for granted perhaps. But at this particular World Championship, I heard two musicians play Captain O'Kane, which is a gorgeous, very, very unique O'Carolan tune. The two musicians playing it were Sean O'Brien and Liam O'Sullivan. And they started playing it, and it was just so surreal to hear that being played in a style that fits the competition, that fits the fashion style, in a modern style, so to say, in an adapted interpretation or new modern interpretation. And the clash of the two worlds, the clash of knowing that tune is probably around 300 years old, And there we are now in 2021, and there are two ladies dancing to that tune in modern dresses full of rhinestones, with colours and with wigs and makeup, doing very intricate steps, kicking their legs high up in the air. And as I was watching, I was just really wondering, do these dancers realize the importance or the meaning of this tune they're dancing to? Do they realize this was composed so many years ago? I mean, other tunes obviously could be about the same age or something, but it just particularly struck me because I knew this was an O'Carolan tune, and I am very much taken by him. And I was just wondering all of these things, are they aware of the rich tradition in the music that they're dancing to? Are they aware that this is an O'Carolan tune? Are they aware of the whole history that is behind this tune? Do they even enjoy dancing to the tune? I mean, do they listen to the melody and do they enjoy that? When they hear a particular tune that they really especially like, or would they be, oh, I don't really like this tune, but I'm gonna, I have to dance my best anyway? Or do they just listen to the beat? You know, all of these things were going through my head as I was watching them. And the next thing, Patsy came over and placed that board on the floor in front of me. And it's just like, you're dancing now. And I felt so embarrassed, but there's one of those moments where there's just no turning back because everybody looks at you expectantly and there's just no way to chicken out of there anymore. You can't go hide like in a pub. You can't like pretend, oh, you're going now, or you can't, It's just happening and you just have to go through it. And I was so embarrassed and I felt really, really panicky kind of, And I looked over to the girls and they looked at me. There were teenage girls playing. And they asked me, what would you like? And then I said to them, well, play a reel. And they started playing and kind of made signs to me asking me if that speed was all right and was good. I asked them not too fast, not too slow. And I just started doing steps. I don't really remember what exactly I was doing. And most of the time I was looking down at my feet, at my wellies. I was wearing my wellies, my colourful pink polka dotted wellies, and I was dancing there on that muddy board in the rain. And it was just so surreal, But every time I looked back up to the girls playing, they were looking at me. And I found myself actually really enjoying it, It was good. It was a lovely tune. It was a lovely pace. I felt I was handling it all right. And they were just so encouraging, and there was no judgment there, no bad feeling anywhere. And I ended up enjoying it so much that I made signs for them to continue with a second tune. And I kept improvising and doing steps and dancing there in the rain next to St. Augustine's Well in County Clare somewhere. And I finished the step, and to me it felt like a piece of myself maybe had been healed because of that experience, because of that positive experience I then had with Sean-Nós dancing in the public. And I was just so grateful for those girls. They were so talented and they were not just, egoistically playing for themselves and you were a dancer and you were doing whatever next to it. But they were really looking at you. It was really a working together in that moment, which made it even more special, And I was delighted in any way when it was done. And Patsy, of course, was very happy that I had done it and he didn't know anything about the inner torment that was going on inside of me, But I just remember, the whole celebration, the whole looking back funny side of it, of us standing together, huddled in the rain, celebrating, listening to stories, freezing. Anybody else would have thought, oh, I can't be bothered, and left. But this was just something that brought us all together and made us part of something very unique that particular afternoon. And as I was talking to Patsy on the phone there the other day, he said, oh, what a pity that nobody took a picture or there's no footage of that, or of anything. But we kept talking about it and we realized and we said, no, but listen, actually it's nice that there was no footage of it, It was a pure moment. It wasn't one of those moments where, everybody takes out their cell phone and starts recording into your face or recording everything, which sometimes can be a bit of a bother. So perhaps because it was raining, nobody was recording anything. But because nothing is recorded on a visual basis or something, maybe that's making it even more special because that moment is anchored in our hearts, in the hearts of the people who were there, who were present. And I think that might make it even more special. And I hope that by sharing this story, maybe it will anchor in someone else's heart perhaps as well.